Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Balding.
And I am Roger Norquist.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by the Monstroco Cat Stopper. This slender metal rod smells vaguely of garlic and can stop your cat. Simply point, shout, and stop. How do you unstop the cat? The Cat Stopper from Monstroco. What the
Boy, you know, it's probably cruelty, but I do love watching the YouTube videos of people using the cat stopper when the cat's mid-jump.
And then it just sticks there in the air for years and years, just never aging, trapped in sort of an eternal moment of joy, terror, sadness, who knows? For it is a cat, and we cannot unstop it.
I assume the Unstopper will be coming any time this
year,
you'd
like to think so. I mean, a lot of the times Monstroco gets ahead of themselves with this stuff where they'll have the technology halfway there, and they'll be like, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, stay tuned for an Unstopper. If you know, I don't want to. Monstroco does great stuff. All of their products, top 10. But in the past, you can expect the Unstopper to be somewhat more complicated. The stopper will stop them with a point and a click, yeah. But the unstopping is usually you got to apply a cream for a few weeks. Usually there's kind of a ray that you need to point at the affected area 24 hours a day. So it probably unstop very slowly in, kind of stages over about 6 months. And then in a couple of years' time, you'll have your cat will be mostly as fast as it was.
But, weird bonus, it also cures feline hemorrhoids.
That's true. That's true. And cats tend to love that. Also, like, how many times have you been, your cat's just, your cat is running roughshod over the place, guys. It is in charge. We see you guys pointing at the cat. Stop that. Stop that. The cat doesn't listen to you. The cat doesn't serve you.
There it goes, knocking over a vase again.
Stop that. Please don't knock that over. That was my grandma's face. She used it to kill my grandpa. It's very important to us.
His ashes are inside.
His ashes were inside until you knocked it over, Mr. Zipper. I'm tired of your terrifying, draconic rule, Mr. Zipper.
And now
Stop.
My grandfather's spirit is free to roam the hallways.
Exactly. And what are you going to do about it? Just continue to be a cat, knocking shit over willy-nilly, higgledy-piggledy. Stop. And you point it at them. We've all seen you uselessly pointing at the cat. Stop it. Stop that. Now you can stop it. For good. So what do we got for him this week, fellas? I would actually care to go first, if that's all right.
I'm more than fine with that.
Sure.
I am going to take up the speaking skull and manipulating the correct holes on the skull. I am going to play the tune of segment continuation. Which means that I am continuing my it's a fuck jam. I'm continuing my segment from last time where we talked about historical UFOs because I am fascinated by the kind of the cultural lens through which we have viewed UFO encounters throughout the years. And I found a really great Wikipedia page that is a list of reported UFO sightings going back to 1450 BC.
1550 BC, you said.
Even 100 years earlier than that, Roger. 1450
Oh, my
BC.
bad. Sorry.
Right. Oh, look, my camera came on.
This is like the time of
in cuneiform.
So
we're talking Middle Dynasty, Egypt, I believe.
Shoot it.
a couple of updates from the week of weird. Joe Biden is a robot, apparently.
Yeah. That's what we found out last night.
Yeah. Donald Trump.
Well, he's a robot or a clone.
Or a clone, sure, which are kind of the same thing as long as you're just looking for someone to blame for things.
Either way, he was assassinated in 2020.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Donald Trump reposted a picture of himself that he thought looked pretty nice and cute, and then realized that it was attached to a conspiracy theory about Joe Biden being a robot or a clone. And so now the White House has to figure out a way to back that up and be like, yeah, that's what we believe here. It's not just that Trump liked the picture.
I desperately want somebody to ask Kristen Levitt about it at the next press conference.
Oh man,
like,
fucking
can you can you confirm whether or not Joe Biden is a robot or a clone or some hybrid of both?
Yeah. So that is the update from the conspirasphere. We're watching you, Joe Bot. That's what we're calling him now. Joe Bot Biden. Here's the thing: if Joe Biden was a robot, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to know that when Skynet does come around and starts animating all of the killbots, they can get prostate cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
Stage 9.
Yeah, apparently a stage that has never been reached before.
I truly assume,
because it's only for robots and clones.
Yeah.
I truly assume that anyone over the age of 75 is now more machine than human.
Sure. I assumed that as well. I just didn't think we were gonna, go ahead and be so publicly brazen about it. I thought we were still in the "I'm sorry you have prostate cancer" stage of the Joe Biden conspiracy, not the "he's a robot" stage.
Well,
which we always forget are so close to one another.
What was kind of funny about it too was it said the robot thing, and then like there was a giant crazy list of hashtags. Nice. And Steel and U.S. Steel were in there multiple times.
Sick. Hell yeah.
So yeah, we're bringing terrorists are bringing manufacturing back, and we're gonna build Bidens.
Biden,
that's
if you're
right.
listening,
the build Biden better build.
Biden, if you're listening, and I know you always are out there, hanging in space like Superman, listening to all the conversations and podcasts on the planet at once. Save us. You're our only hope. Why, Biden, why when you were being humiliated in that debate, didn't you remove your safety safety protocols and launch your Stinger missiles at him right on stage? Biden, when you were getting walked all over in public, how come you did not activate sentry mode and simply protect the nation from Trump?
I just think Robo Biden is too centrist for me. He's right wing for me. I'm looking for a robotic president who's willing to, lynch all the landlords if we're gonna say lyrics of dead Kennedy songs.
So you're looking for a robot Luigi.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Well, stay tuned, folks. The conspiracy is just getting kicked off. Who knows what other robots we might see before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's the update. No new info on the Boogosphere. Still weird. Still filled with what appears to be cement and plastic pieces that are slowly being revealed to us as alien technology.
How if it is a illusion, a trick of engineering? I still can't get past of how it makes the water steam.
Yeah.
And you're touching it.
Yeah.
Like, sure, everything else we can edit in, we can do stuff, we can edit photos, but that video is so compelling in
it was
mystery.
It was pretty strange. I also can't stop thinking about the woman who was just touching it.
Yeah.
It's just like la 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 la.
I am very worried for her hand. Is it black yet, or is it still the normal color?
Yeah, of course. It's gotta be. It's gotta. If it's not fallen off yet, it's become like a weird tentacle.
Yeah, it's more necrotic than flesh now, but it for now yields to her mind's command.
Yeah. For now. Okay, so let's take it over to my Wikipedia page here. Lists of reported UFO sightings. Friends, travel with me now, if you will, to the year 1450 BC. The place, ancient Egypt. Was it like a Wild West kind of thing?
Yeah, we're on a wagon.
Wild West of Giza.
Heading to, we got this wagon up to 88 miles an hour, babies, and we're going to ancient Greece.
The location, ancient Egypt, Jebel Barkal in Lower Egypt. Description: after a military campaign in Nubia, Thutmose III had a stele erected at the Temple of Amun. Do you know what a stele is?
It's one of them rock things they put all the writing on.
Yes, it's like a sign, an ancient sign. Post. It's a plaque, if you will, erected at the Temple of Amun beneath the Jebel Barkal outcropping. It says that, quote, a star came down to set fire to Thutmose's adversaries during a battle in the Levant.
That star was Neil Diamond.
Just me. I love a good Neil Diamond joke.
I'm trying to find photos of it. I apologize.
When I was young,
that was pretty good.
I would destroy your foes from the stars. Okay. Now travel with me, if you will, forward almost 1,200 years. For a long time, nothing happened. Surely things were seen, but nothing of historical consequence, apparently,
or at least nothing recorded.
Or remaining, of course. Things get lost.
218 BC. The place, the Roman Republic of Italia. Navium specimen de Caello ad Fulcise. A phantom navy was seen shining in the sky. A spectacle of ships in the sky. Is a translation from a text found from 218 BC in the Roman Republic of Italia, seeming to talk about shining, gleaming ships. A spectacle of ships gleamed in the sky is what it says. And I mean, nowadays we could be like, oh, drones or something.
Yeah.
But what would that be? What would multiple lights hanging in the sky in the year 218 BC be?
And especially described as ships, they probably use the word for boat because that would be their main thing.
Yeah.
And it probably just looked enough like it. That's what they know linguistically to realize that's the only thing they can name it. As you said, Jordan, we would call it drones today.
Yeah.
They call them Orion's triremes.
Yeah.
Exactly, though. Like this is a pretty credible account.
Yeah, well, and I would maybe think that it was like a meteor shower, but it sounds like it was like hanging out, like hovering, or
later, the year later, in fact, in 217 BC in Apulia, Italy, round parmas or shields were seen floating in the sky.
Okay, so we've got classic flying discs.
Yes, they call these the Arpai sky shields, apparently. In 76 BC, there is talk of a spark from a falling star in the Roman Republic in Asia. The quote from the text is, "A spark fell from a star and grew as it descended until it appeared to be the size of the moon. It then ascended and transformed into a torch."
That's wild.
Isn't it though?
Because yeah, again, I would like if it just came out of the sky, I would be like, well, yeah, that's a sizable bit of meteor, but generally speaking, those don't go back up.
Yeah.
It could be some crazy, I don't know, very rare circumstance of some, what is the right word?
Ball lightning?
Yeah, thank you, ball lightning.
Sure.
I was going to say ball plasma or a plasma ball.
I mean, it seems to be, even though they don't know a lot about it yet, that seems to be the leading theory, is that it's some sort of naturally occurring form of plasma. But yeah, that was my first thought too. But I mean, for ball lightning to come down and like stare at you the size of the moon, like in fucking Majora's Mask, and then to just shoot back up in the sky and kind of hang there, that's also pretty weird.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna blast through these because there's a ton of them, and I want you guys to hear them because they really, as I was reading them, they just sort of blew my mind. Look, like I'm getting goosebumps from it.
Yeah, the link is up. The link's in the description. I'm going to start posting those as well, like a real podcast sharing information.
Here's a great one from the Roman Republic of Phrygia, which was in Central Asia, part of Anatolia. Interesting. Now, what is now Asian Turkey, apparently.
Yes. Yep.
In 73 BC, flame-like wine jars were seen descending from the sky. According to Plutarch, a Roman army commanded by Lucullus was about to begin battle with Mithridates VI of Pontus when, quote, this is insane, the sky burst asunder and a huge flame-like body was seen to fall between the two armies. What?
Yeah, I mean, you have to assume on both sides that this is the word of your gods.
Truly. The Plutarch reports the shape of the object like a wine jar, a pithos. If you Google pithos, I mean, you could see this being like a ship, an interpretation of like some sort of vessel crashed between your armies while you were having a big war, didn't it?
Is this one of those things, or I mean, that's not a question. This is one of those things ancient aliens would be like, was this a message?
Yeah.
And I guess that's my question. Yeah. Aliens crashed their ships too at inopportune times.
They fucked it up. They were trying to take it. Look, they're having a war. Let's get close. No, too close. You got too close.
I can definitely see that.
Perhaps the shape of a wine jar wasn't a mistake. Maybe this was a flying under the influence situation.
Right. I quite often think of these things as like, what are the odds that some of these sightings are just like an alien teenager who was like, I got my dad's ship. You want to go mess with Earth?
And it's wrong. It's wrong
to mess with Earth.
No, it's wrong to think that all beings are the same kind of in this, because evolution,
Sure.
But I'm a firm believer of truly all sentient beings, if they're like us and have that free will versus a hive mind, go through the same shit. They steal their dad's shit.
Yeah, you want to test your boundaries.
Yeah.
This does explain all of those Nazca lines that say 420.
No, that was actually me. I've been meaning to come forward about that. Okay, we're moving forward to AD 65, when a sky army was sighted in the Roman Empire of Judea.
Ooh.
Romano-Jewish historian Flavius Josephus reports chariots, quote, hurtling through the clouds prior to the First Jewish-Roman War. Fucking wild. That was AD 65. We are officially after, in the current era. AD 196, in the Roman Empire of Italia, historian Cassius Dio described a, quote, fine rain resembling silver hair that descended from a clear sky upon the Forum of Augustus.
Oh shit, they got the silkworms.
Yeah, what was that? Also happened in Italy.
That was also in Italy,
Yeah, later.
And we're talking about the day the game stopped, the soccer game.
The soccer.
The similar thing happened.
He wrote that he was able to plate some of his bronze coins in this silver kind of hair.
That's
but
interesting that it didn't disappear.
Oh, wait. 4 days later, the silvery coating was gone.
Oh.
Just like that's literally what happened in that soccer Italy won. All that shit vanished like really fast, and they barely were able to get like a sample to test. Very strange and interesting. It almost seems like it's some kind of I don't know, it's a residue from whatever it is they're doing, some kind of side effect from busting through dimensional walls. Who knows?
You don't think they're just like they're emptying the latrine?
That's their turd.
Yeah.
Dump it on the soccer people. We're gonna blast forward to the 8th century, AD 740. This is an event known as the airship of Clonmacnois. In Ireland, in Telltown, in County Meath, in Clonmacnois, in County Offaly, ships with their crews were seen in the air. This is this redirects to a different article called "The Airship of Clonmacnois." The airship of Clonmacnois is the subject of a historical anecdote related in numerous medieval sources through the original report, though the original report in the Irish Annals simply mentioned an apparition of ships with their crews in the sky over Ireland. Later accounts through the Middle Ages progressively expanded on this with picturesque details. First, the ships were reduced to one ship over Telltown, from which a crewman threw and then recovered a fishing spear. Then the scene shifted to the Abbey of Clonmacnois and later to Britain, and the fishing spear was changed to an anchor which snagged on some feature of a church. The sailor who climbed down to release it was also said to be in danger of drowning in the thicker air of this lower world. The story was retold by Seamus Heaney in a well-known poem collection in his 1991 volume called Seeing Things.
I'm a big fan of that Seamus Heaney, man. He also did the verse translation of Beowulf.
Oh, okay.
And just like Tolkien, I didn't know he was a fiction writer and poet until after I was very familiar with him as a Beowulf scholar. Did you know Beowulf scholars do other stuff?
No, I don't think that's true.
Apparently, Beowulf scholarship doesn't pay that much.
Interesting. It does preclude you from doing anything else, though. If you try to apply at a Foot Locker and they find out you're a Beowulf scholar, hit the bricks.
They're like, why don't you take up a hobby like making chainmail or some shit, nerd?
All right, I want to do a few more of these. I'm going to take us up to the 19th century, and then I'm going to check one of you guys the skull. We're going to go up to the 16th and 17th century. So from the 8th century through the 16th century, for a long time, nothing happened. 1561, there was a celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg, which we've heard of.
Yes.
This is in Nuremberg in Bavaria, which was then part of the Holy Roman Empire. An aerial battle followed by the appearance of, quote, something like a black spear, very long and thick, hundreds of spheres, cylinders, and other odd-shaped objects that moved erratically overhead.
Interesting.
It was wild. There's a wood cutting of it. It's on the screen right now.
Spheres and cylinders. So strange.
Yeah.
We have heard of large cylinders ejecting smaller spherical UFOs.
True.
This is another weird little.
The wood cutting
armada.
has it's colored as well. There's like crosses, like cigar-shaped UFOs. There's like weird crosses on there. There's little circles that are supposed to be like explosions. It was like it kept the city up.
Yeah.
Like you just had to observe it. There was no going to bed tonight.
So
There was no giant to come out with a huge broomstick and bash it against the floor of the cylinder. Keep it down.
In 1566, we are now in Switzerland, in Basel, Switzerland. A broadsheet, which is something like a newspaper, published in 1566, depicted numerous spherical objects appearing out of the sun.
Dum bum bum.
They come from the sun.
That's been a theory for a while. There's been some they're questionable videos, but there were a few going around the YouTubes and stuff to where like what seemed to be UFOs draining
The sun
for like energy and then
Taking a
zooming
little
off.
Sip. That makes sense. Interesting. It said the stars would be the gas stations of the universe.
Just absorb some hydrogen.
Blast
Bingo,
off.
bango, blast off.
Keep going. It's got a ton in there. What if they're just inside the sun? What if they're in there just hanging out and it's fine in there?
Just having a schwitz.
Like
We
it's
need
their
to
sauna.
We need to put a man on the sun.
Well, I thought
We need to check out what's going on up there.
I thought we put that guy from Smash Mouth on there, and then he got a real problem when he came back.
Yeah, he developed some unhealthy coping habits on the sun when he was walking on the sun. 1609. We are now in the Gangwon province of Korea, Joseon, Korea. Multiple witnesses in Gyeongsang, Wonju, Gangneung, Chuncheong County, and Yangyang County described
Bravo.
Thank you. I'm sure I beefed it.
For an American, that's fucking perfect. I'm sure.
Look, confidence will get you through any mispronunciation, is what I find. Described a halo or wash bowl that was divided in two in the sky. A halo or a wash bowl. This, I gotta say, sounds like some kind of celestial phenomenon, like a moon dog or like a sun halo or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? When the
I
sun
do.
does some weird thing and there's just the right amount of ice in the air and all of a sudden the whole world sees the projection of Macho Man Randy Savage appearing over the eastern edge of the globe. Anyway, that takes us up through the 16th and 17th centuries. I'll do the 19th century because I said I would, but we're going to blast through these. These are three of them. And then we get into 20th century sightings, and that brings us all the way up to Werewolf Radar, really. So in 1883, in Zacatecas Observatory in Mexico, the astronomer Jose Bonilla photographed hundreds of dark objects crossing the sun while observing sunspot activity at Zacatecas Observatory. Bonilla published an account of the event 3 years later in L'Astronomie. 1896, mystery airships sighted in the United States. Newspapers across California and later other states, especially the Midwest, printed reports of strange airships and lights. Common elements, not common elephants. Common elements of the descriptions included bright lights, cigar-shaped bodies, movable wings, and a metallic hull. So 1896, folks, we're starting to get actual descriptions that aren't just a shape like a spear in the sky. Not that that's anything wrong. People of the 16th and 17th centuries, you were doing the best you could. 1897, Aurora, Texas UFO incident. This is arguably the first modern, what you might call a UFO incident. This was in Aurora, Texas. Local correspondent S.E. Hayden reported the crash of an airship piloted by an alien. According to Hayden, the pilot was buried in a local cemetery. Residents of Aurora embraced the story without taking it seriously. That you might remember from last week's segment, where there is indeed a grave for an alien in the Aurora, Texas cemetery, which brings us to the end of my segment called Hey, What's That, Abe Lincoln?
It's so crazy that there is just a tombstone outright decreeing, yo, this man was from a different place and we gave him a good Christian burial despite his God demanding something else.
This man came from the stars and we gave him unto our God. We dropped his soul into the hungering maw of our Judeo-Christian deity. And now he's the only alien in heaven. And he's like playing chess with, all the people in heaven, Ben Franklin, Cleopatra, the Vikings. And he's just like, hey, gleep glop,
I like
the only alien in heaven.
I would watch that on CBS this summer as a test series.
Fuck yeah. Who plays the alien? Who are we getting for the alien?
Ooh.
We'll get a real alien.
Yeah, we want to see the terror. We want to see the culture shock. We want to see him being affected by our terrestrial protozoa and germs. Torn apart from his very DNA. I'm going to hit you guys with a stunner here. I think we get Matt LeBlanc. I think he can pull it off. I think he's been sitting on his haunches a little bit. He's got the star power for it. He's very charismatic. Nobody's going to see him as an alien.
That's the guy from Friends?
Yeah, Joey. His name's Joey.
See, when you said that, I was all like, he's dead, Jordan. And I had to stop myself.
That's the other guy.
I had to stop myself and remember which one is which.
Okay, listen, if we're getting alien investors on board with this, maybe they can bring us some sort of a Biden robot clone situation of the guy from Friends who died. We love you, Chandler. We miss you. And I do know your real name.
Jose Cuervo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Do you want to go next, Nate? And I'll wrap up with some.
I didn't want to nominate Nate, but I gotta see what this picture behind you is in relation to.
Please subscribe to our YouTube, notify. You know what to do. It's where the show's the best because you can see Nate's awesome backgrounds. Nate
always picks out
that I just take from the internet.
That's all you need.
It might be copyright violations.
No, because we're just using it as fashion.
I think putting your face in front of it is definitely transformative enough.
Exactly. Okay. But they're always bespoke pictures of what he's going to talk about, and it's a genius marketing tool, honestly, because I'll see the picture and I'll be like, oh, I wonder what he's got for us today.
I think about it nonstop through the grave nugget.
I've been looking at that thing this whole time. I'm like, what is that guy?
Some kind of Trumpy.
Yeah, he's a bit of a Trumpy.
If you're not watching, you're familiar with the Mystery Science Theater 3000 series.
Yeah. What was that one?
You may know Pod People.
Pod People. Yeah. No, Trumpy. So weird. Yeah, he's kind of an anteater, man. He looks like he might hang out with the Ninja Turtles and some of the later waves of action figures.
One of the Mutanimals.
Yes, the Mighty Mutanimals.
And you are right on. I will take the speaking skull and I will play the patented grill door song from the Masters of the Universe movie.
Fuck yeah.
We'll summon some people from Eternia.
Grill door.
Including... I can't believe I pulled out Billy Barty's character name.
I'm Googling grill door t-shirt right now.
One of those Eternians turns out will be this character, the Tuttle Bottoms Monster.
Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. If you were to give me a lineup of monsters,
Yes.
and say which one of them is the Tuttle Bottoms Monster, and it was like a Mothman and a Bigfoot, and then like a bashful looking anteater man. I'm like, that's obviously the Tuttle Bottoms Monster. Look at his Tuttle Bottoms ass.
So the Tuttle Bottoms Monster was an abominable swamp slob.
Nice.
You watch your mouth.
Well, you know what?
Offensive.
That is the term that was given to him by John Keel, and far be it for us to deny Fortean superstar John Keel his naming rights.
Yeah, fair.
Reported mostly from Saline County, Illinois. Described as a hairy, often bipedal animal resembling an anteater or a bear.
What? Guys. Okay. Come sit down here for a second.
Uncle Jordan wants to talk.
So this is a picture of an anteater. And this one's a bear.
Well,
you gotta know which one is the difference. This is very important stuff. This is day one shit.
The thing is, the people that have seen it, it's got a Bigfoot body with an anteater head.
Okay. Okay. All right. Carry on. I'm just saying, I mean, if you don't know the difference between a bear and an anteater, you're going to have a tough time in the wilderness.
Well, and if you don't, I mean, do we really know the difference between a bear, an anteater, and a swamp slob?
I truly don't know the difference between any of those.
It's all well and good for me to sit here, claiming that I would know the difference, but we're dealing with swamp slobs here. You're right.
The swamps of the U.S. Midwest and Illinois in particular are a common source of reports of crypto-hominids, which the aforementioned John Keel termed abominable swamp slobs, sometimes regarded as skunk apes, but also include more distinct creatures such as the Enfield monster. It's true. It seems like Illinois and Ohio are like just chock full of real weird ones.
Dude, those forests are never talked about as much as they should, but there's some weird shit up in there. Ohio's a weird place. The middle of the country is haunted.
I am getting the feeling that just existence, and I've said this for a long time, though, nobody ever believed me, so now I'm feeling more frantic about it. The unpopulated parts of existence, I think, are just fucking strange. When a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. But also, maybe
one of the monsters of Midian who's out there in the diaspora definitely heard it.
Exactly. If a monster exists in the wood and maybe a monster can only exist in the woods if no one's around to see it. You know what I mean? We have scratched the surface of the idea that human perception, or in some way our mind and understanding of the reality of a situation, can influence it when it comes to whatever it is that we're talking about when we're talking about paranormal stuff.
I am a fan of the tulpa theory. I think we can do it. I think we can, our imagination can create out of that darkness, that unknowingness.
What about this, Roger? What if it's the exact opposite? What if our perception is the only thing keeping everything normal? And when we're around, like everything's normal, but when we're gone, nature just does its thing and fucking plasma's bursting out of the earth and Bigfoot's bursting from non-reality and grabbing a bird for a snack and then disappearing back into a portal. And fucking swamp slobs or cyber 69 in each other.
It's like that Simpsons where they go to New York and Bart opens up the office door to Mad Magazine.
Exactly.
And it's exactly like Mad Magazine.
Everyone,
the second you turn your back on the woods, it's just a fucking funhouse mirror of nonsense.
Grab your blue book.
Sasquatchy Newman.
Yeah.
Grab your blue book and a pencil because I want to propose this. Whose perception changes it? Is it human perception? Or is an animal gonna stop it? And to that extent, is not maybe not the moon, but these other planets just filled with paranormal horrors because we can't perceive it?
Yeah. Or if someone looks at the Earth, does their perception alter the entire Earth?
You think like if the James Webb telescope could talk, it would be like, it's full of giant skeletons dancing.
Can't you see them? Why can't you see them? Anyway, what I'm saying is the mind is vast and strange, and existence is not what we think it to be.
Well, and as often happens, when I daydream, I drift off to the swamps of Illinois, where the Tuttle Bottoms Monster has specifically been reported from the bottomlands around the Bankston Fork River and the northwestern outskirts of Harrisburg, in a section of the state known as Little Egypt.
Okay.
Apparently, yeah. Well, I guess when they founded a bunch of small towns there in the way back, they just gave them all Egyptian names.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Paranormal investigator Bruce L. Klein claims the reports of the Tuttle Bottoms Monster began in the 1960s when people driving Doris Heights Road began to report sightings of, quote, a large furry animal that resembled an overgrown anteater or a large bear. A report quoted from the Harrisburg Daily Register on August 6th, 1963, on the authority of Saline County Sheriff James L. Thompson, describes local youths forming armed hunting parties to search for, quote, a monster loose in the bottoms.
Cool.
Dude, being a teen was a lot cooler back then.
Fucking sweet. Could you imagine? Somebody coming and knocking on your door. Hey, we got a monster. Ugh, it's my dream.
They also quote it as being 8 feet long, 4 feet high, and a nose like an anteater. So it sometimes apparently is on all fours, but is often seen walking on its legs, where it would be, I guess, minimum 8 feet tall. Which gives some accounting to the idea that it's, people are thinking it's a weirdo Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Other accounts allegedly came from hunters and farmers in the swamplands. Harrisburg Police Chief Gary Crabtree reportedly announced in '99 that his department had received up to 50 reports of, quote, some kind of beast lurking in the area northwest of Harrisburg. He announced this in '99. These reports came at the beginning of his career in 1971.
Okay.
So it was around that year that people really started seeing this. We'll jump over to the Shadows of the Shawnee investigating Tuttle Bottoms. I know there's a good description here somewhere. This is Virgil Smith, founder of the animal research organization Shadows of the Shawnee, has opened his own investigation into the monster and thinks he has a clue as to what it may be. Smith is hesitant to say much more without further evidence, but believes the creature was an actual animal released by the federal government, and that another such creature was reported in Massac County. So this is a thing that I've seen in a couple articles
That's a fucking claim right there.
Oh yeah.
Some people.
My man knows how to. My man crackpots.
Some people have said that this thing may be a government experiment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like maybe they took a bear and they cut its head off, and then they cut the head off and
Put an anteater on
sewed it together.
One of those
made it
scientists.
Made a pigeon rat.
Yeah, one of those weirdo
Exactly.
scientists who was like, "Can a bear live on ants?" I have acquired the funding. Why do I sound like JFK?
Quote, it stood on two legs, was hairy, close to swampy river areas. A couple had the animal walk up to them, Smith said.
Okay, well, that's just me. That's
It was
describing me.
It was more a description of a primate. The animal was not scared of humans. Smith said a former employee of the U.S. Department of Agriculture confided to him that the department had launched an investigation into the Tuttle Bottoms Monster. The man also told him a story about the origin of the Massac County creature. Smith believes that origin could be the same as the fabled Tuttle Bottoms Monster, and that it's a legitimate creature, not a monster out of myth.
I fucking love the Tuttle Bottoms Monster. I'm a big fan.
So, what seems likely to most people, not the people that have seen it and believe it's a Bigfoot with an anteater face,
Okay.
but Smith, anyway, he believes, and this seems very possible, that it's actually really just a giant anteater that either escaped from a zoo or something.
Sure.
And this is the part of the part of the country where if you want to find somebody who has a private zoo, there are hundreds of them in the Midwest.
Really?
Like for real.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There are a lot. That's where the Tiger King had his.
Yeah, okay. My mind went straight to Tiger King, and I was like, yeah, okay.
No, I can't remember the title. I read a book about this like 10 years ago. I'll see if I can find the title. It was really interesting. But yeah, it was all about all these people that have private zoos, and they're all like in like Wisconsin, Ohio, Illinois.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Arkansas. And shit gets out all the time.
That's my theory that in the Midland, if I got that wrong, please, British listeners, correct me.
Well, I think you're right, Midlands.
And that's why they have so many big cat sightings.
Dude,
because there's a lot of private zoos. I think people are they have.
I was talking to my dad yesterday about ABCs, and it's amazing how many people like don't know or don't think about these things, and it's like it's just real. It's just real.
It's just real. Sorry.
There are just panthers in the UK. And like if you ask a British person, they'll be like, "What? No, there isn't." And you'd be like, "Yeah, Google it. Look at any of the hundreds of pictures of them."
Well, they would also tell you that there are no wolves, probably, and I think that there are some.
Really? Oh,
There's been sightings, and I
all.
also think that they are private zoo ones. Like they got some captured, poached from America, or probably Russia, more than likely.
That adds up for sure.
Smith is hoping to receive information from anyone who's had an encounter. He says, what I'm looking for is older people, farmers who either had a first-hand encounter or had first-hand reports. I'm not looking for headless horseman type reports.
I am, though. Send them to werewolfradar.com.
Yeah. I think if you get a headless horseman type report, definitely talk about it. Pass it along.
You can't ignore that, certainly. Yeah, if you call the cops and tell them that a headless horseman just stole the new schoolmaster's head, they're going to want to look into it right away.
So, this thing, probably a couple zoo animals or something, or I guess possibly even maybe it was a government experiment to see how big of an anteater they could make or something. I suppose it's in the realm of possibility.
That you don't understand. The ants that I hypothesize are coming will devour us all. We need a protector.
That's that type of shit that I am about. Like, you please use my tax money to give me this.
Yeah. I feel bad for that.
First, make a giant anteater to solve the problem of having made all those giant ants.
I am looking for a simple funding guarantee of $6 billion to build a dopey, silly, Richard Scary ass monster that will lope around the swamp bottoms going wearing a scarf and looking for ants and making tea for his friend Badger.
Well, lest you are want to completely toss the idea that there's a bipedal Sasquatch anteater out there, I take you to Brazil.
Oh,
Brazil!
And the Cape Lobo.
Oh.
So
whoa, is that the wolf sucker?
This is the exact same creature. The Cape Lobo, this is from
I guess it would be the suck wolf. That was my porn handle.
Lobo chupar.
Lobo de chupar.
So the Cape Lobo is a therianthropic creature from Brazilian mythology. Therianthropic, of course, means it changes. With an elongated snout of a pig dog or giant anteater, depending on the region.
I guess it would be wolf goat, right? Not suck goat. Not suck
Koopa. I don't know what Koopa means. I don't think it's goat, though.
Cape. The name, it's a fusion of the Guarani Cape, which means broken-boned, crooked-legged, or lame.
Okay,
and then, of course, wolf.
Oh, incredible. Perfect.
So it's the crooked wolf.
Hell yeah. That was also my porn handle until I had a surgery to correct that little dog leg.
Oh, you got one of them wolf dicks.
What, everybody's ain't crooked?
Okay.
Everybody, y'all can't look around corners?
It is either beast-like or humanoid like a Mapinguari, and stumpy-footed as well, though lacking a giant mouth.
Mapinguari, for those who don't know, South American Bigfoot, kind of giant sloth-style guy. I really like a Mapinguari tail.
So this is like the anteater version of a Mapinguari, kind of.
I love that. I had no idea that there was a secondary fucking Tuttle Bottom Monster.
Well, yeah. So I mean, there is actually a mythological base for this weird Illinois swamp slob.
I fucking love him. He's just so indoors to me. You know, he looks like he wants to cozy up with a book and a cup of tea, not like, stomp around the swamps eating ants.
Well, check out this. The Cape Lobo is feared as a man-eater, more specifically a bloodsucker and brain eater.
Oh, my brains!
It is known for its screaming.
He looks like he would be voiced by John Hodgman. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Pardon me, I'm the Tuttle Bottoms Monster. I was wondering if you could keep it down out here. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to suck brain.
I mean, that is pretty close to the voice that they gave Trumpy in Pod People.
Fair enough.
Oh, I want more jelly beans.
Oh, it is insane. You just gotta watch Pod People.
And apparently its only vulnerable spot is the navel.
Sure.
Legend
just like Mike Tyson.
The legend typically comes from the Pará or Maranhão areas, states. I guess it's not really found near the Amazon.
Bummer. Seems like a good spot to be a monster in.
In the version which is widely popular in the Xingu River Basin, Pará, the Cape Lobo has two forms, animal and humanoid.
Oh, cool. He's got like a battle form.
Yeah, and the battle form that's the anteater.
Cool.
And the humanoid form There's an underlying belief that every Indio of great age will transform into this monster.
Oh.
And the storytellers specifically describe the Kape Lobo as resembling a Mapinguari or a Kibungo, but without their anomalous gaping mouths that run from nose to stomach.
Yeah.
Because, of course, they have their brain snout.
Yeah, they're
escaping mouth.
They're freaky for sure.
The version in Maranhão is called Kupe Lobo, and reputed to have the snout of a giant anteater. There's a difference of opinion about the anteater-headed version, whether it's a shaggy man-like body or a shaggy tapir-like body.
Oh.
So, could go either direction. I feel like it's probably a spectrum.
Yeah.
The shaggy human-bodied one also has round feet like the, quote, bottom of a bottle, which left foot tracks of such round shape. So I guess it's also occasionally confused with the pé de guarafa, which is aka the bottle leg.
Okay.
Another Brazilian cryptid I've never heard of.
Holding all-nighter coming up with that one, I see.
Yeah. Which also has, round feet there.
And again, we love to talk shit here from the safety of our fucking internet. But bottle leg is a pretty good thing to come up with on the fly while you're being chased by a monster with bottles for legs.
Oh, for sure. Kape Lobo described, as previously mentioned, as a hematophage, a bloodsucker, likened to the werewolf lobisomem. Or considered a subvariant thereof. So they may even be the taxonomy may have them in the same family or genus as the werewolf there.
I see.
It is also known to snatch away newborn puppies and kittens.
Come
from people's huts.
on, my puppies, my kittens, my peppers.
It reputedly, this is also very of mice and men, it reputedly crushes the victim with a deadly embrace.
Aww.
He just pets the people too hard.
It can't tell. It doesn't know.
Or otherwise breaks open the carotid artery to drink the victim's blood.
Yeah, or eats a little piece of their brain, or
inserts its snout or trunk into the embraced victim's head and sucks out the brain.
Yeah,
which apparently is its favorite food.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love brain?
It's something I do want to try, but I hear it's not good for us.
My wonderful.
I don't think you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah, you get a bunch of you get a bunch of prions and shit diseases from doing that. But my wonderful fiance has eaten calf brain.
Ooh.
And she said that it tasted like mouth. She said it tasted like absolutely nothing.
Oh,
and she hated it. She was like, "This is the worst." She said it was very much a fat. It was very much like it dissolved in her mouth, and she said it tasted like almost nothing.
It has to have an awful texture.
Yeah. Not something that I'm eager to try, but something that I'm eager to try to get it out of the way, because I know I have to try it at some point.
I want to feast upon the.
You wish to feast upon the brains.
Are you guys gonna have like crudité with brain for the wedding?
See,
God.
I think you do that. Here's what, Jordan. Don't let us influence your wedding. Thank you for inviting us, by the way.
Of course. Couldn't have it without you guys. What if something scary happens?
Let's do.
Gotta have it all covered.
And of course, you can say no. Let's get a skull and serve brains with crackers.
I like it so far.
Yeah.
Chilled monkey brains.
With crackers. with
crackers. It's not weird.
With what is it? Water or matzo crackers, like the really fine one, that way you can let the brain shine.
What is the appropriate cracker for brain?
I think maybe a Melba toast.
Oh God, I'm thinking a black pepper Triscuit.
Oh yeah. That's.
I don't know why.
Well, it's got some good coverage too, especially if brain's gonna taste like nothing.
Yeah, where it's more of a fat. You definitely want the salty and peppery cracker of a Triscuit.
Interesting. You know, the more we're talking about this, the more it might actually happen. But I think it will just be us three going to eat a brain before the wedding. And then I'm getting married with some sort of ancient prion devouring my brainstem.
Right, you're halfway through the vows, your face starts to fall off.
Yeah, that's how the zombie starts.
Into a Koopa
Honestly, if I had to be one, the John Hodgman of big feet sounds pretty good.
This is my brain tea. I have it every day at 2:00.
Exactly.
So should you find here's your occasional actual paranormal preparedness little bit. The only way to defeat it, if you should run into it and don't want your brain sucked out, is by shooting it in the navel, which is covered in long strands of fur.
So ask it to hold still, ask it
to spread wide. You know,
the thing
freeze, get up against the tree, hold still, part some of the fur on your tummy, please.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to see because this also goes on to talk about how the natives hesitate to take arrow shots at it.
Yeah, it will fucking destroy you if you whiff that. If you whiff that arrow shot, you're toast,
I think you only have probably a couple shots before. I mean, I don't know if it's fast, but I mean, if it's invulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Yeah, if it's invulnerable, it can be very slow. It can be as fast as it wants or as slow as it wants while it eats your brain.
This closes off by mentioning once again that the Capa Lobo does a lot of screaming to announce its presence.
Okay. Gotta scream.
Anyway, yeah, that's the Tuttle Bottoms Monster / Cape Lobo. Are they the same thing? Is one of them the American government trying to culturally appropriate from Brazil's forests? Relocate them to the swamps of Illinois? Perhaps not.
I fucking love the Tuttle Bottoms Monster. I think I'm a Tuttle Bottoms Monster head.
Me too. I definitely am now.
I really enjoy his whole weird thing. He's deadly. He looks unassuming. He's got Donatello vibes, but my man is secretly a Raphael. Don't underestimate him.
Yeah, he's cool but rude.
He's cool but rude. He'll eat your brain. He'll chew your food. I just had to do that because it rhymed. You know how it goes. Yeah. All right. Raj, you want to land the plane for us here?
Let me grab the controls. Thank you for passing the skull to me. I have received it from the tube. I'm now going to interface with the skull.
Roger, no.
I'm going to put my thumbs in its nostril holes.
Roger tried this once before and he disappeared for 3 years. He came back.
I got it this time.
His hair was filled with sand and wind.
Yeah, but we put him in the de-ager, the Monster brand de-ager.
We got him back, stopped the ranting. Hopefully it goes better this time.
And then I'm going to put my pinkies in its ear holes.
Careful. Oh my God. Look at his eyes.
Oh, that's the man who has the 1,000-yard stairs. The Dark Carnival.
I've seen a million.
But for right now,
I would like to take a moment to make it official that the official Werewolf Radar religion is the same as ICP. We also believe the Dark Carnival will come.
If we have our own version of the gathering.
Exactly. It's just us three, but we have a good time.
There's still Fago.
So when I was in the void there for a short bit, I was doing what anyone does in the void, and I found some paranormal encounters I need to talk about from Reddit.
Hell yeah. Surfing Reddit. Look, when you got 3 years in the void, you're going to do some Reddit surfing.
Yeah.
I found four
r/time slipped.
I found 4 really good stories I want to share with us all in the r/paranormal encounters. This one is brought to us by Puzzle-Headed Pain 6356.
Weird.
Boyfriend saw me on camera, but I wasn't home.
Oh, scary.
I've been out running errands, and I called my boyfriend as I got home in the kitchen, and he says, "Wait, but I just saw you a minute ago." I say, "What?" He explains how he saw someone come in that looks like me, eat, feed my cat in her bowl, then a minute later, I call him. I asked if they came from my door or the bed, and he said he thought he saw them open the door. I asked if my cat looked at them, and he said it looked like it.
Huh.
But I just searched my whole apartment and no one's here. What should I do?
Well, I had sex with her. What happened? Who was that?
Earlier last week, I was in the bathroom doing makeup. In my peripheral, I saw a black circle in between my 2 shower curtains fall down, and it made a huge sound.
Oh.
Like if you dropped the shampoo bottle.
Oh.
So I figured either the cat knocked something or fell. So I look, and there's nothing. No cat, they're in the living room. Maybe the cat fell. It couldn't have fallen off the tub and make a loud bang. I also saw something, ? And the curtains were moving from something falling. I never get scared with this stuff, just alert and pissed off.
And they said it was a black circle out of the corner of her eye?
A black circle.
I wonder if it was some sort of weird shadow manifestation.
Or, I mean, and I hate to be this guy, but I have weird floaters in my vision.
I think that was, but she didn't see anything. She heard something fall that sounded like a shampoo bottle, something heavy in the tub.
Yeah.
And then nothing was there to have fallen.
Well, see, what I'm thinking is maybe there's a shadow creature living that's attached to her, and it's using her image.
Interesting.
To do stuff.
And what that entity wants to do is feed the cat.
Feed the cat.
Even ghosts like cats. Ghosts love pets. This next segment, I'm going to share my screen with sound. We got some audio. Here's a weird shush. Are you ready? Let's do it.
Dale, yo me quedé parado afuera como un pelotudo mirando a la nada y pasó una moto. Se cagó todo.
Oh, weird.
Se cagó todo.
It's small, but it's a ghost. It's a ghost trope, I guess. One more time for the listeners.
Se da moto. Se cagó todo.
And it appears on the what am I trying to say?
On the
sound graph here.
Yeah, you can actually see that's interesting. So
I have the story right here as well. Let's read it. English isn't my first language. Already doing a great job. So sorry if I make any mistakes. I just had to share this strange little thing that happened. I sent my voice message to my girlfriend after she left my place. I live on the first floor, and I was closing the gate at the bottom of the stairs when I recorded it. Later, when she got home, she asked me, "Who told you to be quiet?" I had no idea what she was talking about. That's what's written here and whatnot.
It is written.
I didn't hear anyone say anything while I was recording. Definitely no one telling me shush or anything like that. I got curious and started doing a bunch of tests, thinking maybe it was just the sound of my Crocs dragging on the floor. But the sound they made didn't come through nearly as loud or as clear as you can hear in the original audio. Still can't explain it.
Or recording in a library. Is that
potato.
Yeah, is this the library ghost from Ghostbusters? Because we know she exists and is hot.
I think this is more apartment situation.
Spooky.
Spooky, scary.
EVPs are so strange because some of them are some of the most impressive evidence that you'll ever hear. You know, you'll be like, that's insane. That sounds like a person saying this. I hear it. And then you'll get some shit that's like, that could be someone moving their feet. That could be fabric dragging across the speaker that you didn't understand. That could be any number of things. But some of it is so fucking impressive. And that sounds like somebody shushing someone to me.
Let me go back just to have a good clear listen for the listeners. One more time for y'all.
What the? Se cagó todo.
It does. It's very clear.
It's very clear. I've heard some EVPs that have made my blood run cold. Maybe I'll try to find some for next week. That is something that has always super fascinated me.
I wish I could find it. Me and Stefan had a paranormal show. And we did
a Strange Paradise, right?
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. And we went to Cheeseman Park at midnight or so.
Incredible.
And did EVP work.
Dude.
And we recorded something that, like, we were asking questions. I forgot what happened or what question prompted it, but everything, like the wind, like, died, and then you just heard like a backwards, like,
strange, scary. Yeah. Cheeseman freaks me out.
It wasn't a ghost saying, "What are you cruising for?"
Cheeseman Park.
Hi, stranger.
Cheeseman Park is a park to where it's one of those former graveyard parks. It
was a former graveyard. They dug up.
Still is.
They pulled up the headstones. They didn't move the bodies. It was a problem. Corpses were falling out onto 16th Street for a while.
People were like, "Come collect your dead," and people were like, "I don't want that."
In the 70s,
can stick it back in the dirt.
In the 70s,
there's definitely still a bunch of bodies.
But still a bunch of bodies in there. In the 70s, it was like a cruising spot, and the cops would honeypot dudes and beat the shit out of them, and probably worse. Like, people have been killed, and like bad shit has happened in Cheeseman for almost 100 years.
Now it's a hipster drinking park where you can play your frisbee golf.
It's for sure still a cruising park.
Get your dick sucked if that's what you're going for. And
I've definitely seen some hot man-on-man action that wasn't very well hidden.
Yeah, if you walk into the wrong bush in Cheeseman, that's the thing. Is like, it's a great place to hunt for ghosts. It's also a great place to hunt for accidentally seeing things you can't unsee.
Unless you're going cruising, in which case probably 5 out of 5 stars.
Then jackpot.
Yeah. It's a place where you can get
wait. Unless you're going cruising, then your cruising spot is just haunted. You could find a less haunted spot, surely.
But one that's as beautiful. Those trees, Jordan.
Yeah, you got anonymous gay sex in my haunted spot. No, you got a haunted spot in my anonymous gay sex.
So here's the next one entitled, but that other one also comes to us from the great user Cheek OK 6197.
Oh wait, before we move on, we almost blew past our own EVP. We caught the drums from Bridge.
From Third Bridge, yeah.
I have that audio somewhere. Although in retrospect, the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, that's a water pump or something.
Yeah.
But still pretty spooky at the time.
It's spooky. There's some weird shit there.
Mm-hmm.
This one comes to us from Swimming Hope 2948. and it is entitled Vampire Encounter.
Fuck yeah.
I debated posting this whether or not.
This one also happened in Cheeseman. I guarantee it.
Saturday, my husband and I went out for drinks, and there was a band playing. We danced, we sang, we had a good time.
Ah.
And then we Ubered home.
Ah.
My husband was completely wasted when we got home, stumbling, falling.
I should mention, he'd been 9 years sober.
He said he had left his phone at the bar, so I got him into bed and called the bar to see if they had it. They did not.
Oh.
A car pulled back up, and I thought this was the Uber from his phone, or with his phone. I went outside to get the phone, but it was the singer from the band.
Excuse me, young lady. Did you drop a phone? One phone.
He asked where my husband was, and I said he was asleep. He then said he had to tell me something. He said he noticed my energy all night and proceeded to tell me he was a vampire.
Boy.
Not the blood-sucking kind, but an energy and soul vampire.
Not the blood-sucking kind, the butt-sucking kind.
And he could turn me, and that I would live forever and never age.
This guy has a fucking racket. This guy knows how to return a phone.
I started getting really scared, and he was sharing lots of details.
Really? This doesn't sound scary. This sounds goofy.
I was already on a type O negative tour in 1993.
I was bitten by the lead singer.
He goes on sharing lots of details, like his past names. My name
used to be James, but I changed it to Shadowclaw in 1996.
His past wives.
I used to be married to a woman named Jessica. I left her with her child. I do not pay child support.
His favorite author from the 1800s.
I love R.L. Stein.
He was one of the first authors of surrealism.
My pants look leather, but they are made of something much cheaper.
And he wanted to convert me and made a loud, guttural, sucking noise.
This sounds like a random encounter with a loser.
I mean, it's the lead singer of the band. He ain't no loser.
Hello, thank you for coming to see my band, the Rocking Losers. We are all totally vampires and have made sex with many ladies. James, can we just start playing already? My name is Shadowclaw.
There's a lot more details, but I don't want to get into them right now. I'm keeping up. This was from 5 days as recording. I'm making sure I learn the details of this.
My God, there's more. You had sex with him, didn't you?
If him explaining who his favorite author from the 1880s was, this is the Vampire Encounter for me.
Okay.
We got a lot more details. Check this out. We have Ring cameras, and he never showed on the camera.
Okay. Now that's strange.
Just me. But there is video of the car leaving.
With no one driving it?
I don't think it was good enough. Maybe the windows were rolled up, but from what I'm understanding, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, or maybe even ask questions that we're asking to them, see if they answer it. It seems that the car pulls up, probably the door opens, and this is the Ring camera. And then she's all like, oh no, and then standing there, as this person's explaining it. Then the door shuts and then drives off is what I think the Ring camera sees.
Yeah.
My husband did not wake up until noon the next day. Very unlike him. And I told him all this, and he thinks it was a dream, or that maybe somehow my husband was drugged and we were followed home. But it was not a dream. There is footage of the car leaving. I have, however, been having bad dreams since this night and have been restless over the whole situation.
In my dreams, the guy shows up again and starts explaining Bitcoin to me. He says he's working on his own crypto called Bitcoin. Come on, that was pretty good for a vampire who's also a loser.
It was. I was looking for the pun.
I was thinking of what crazy image I'm gonna put up. I gotta stop trying to think of a production thing the first run and give it a listen.
Just live in the tub,
live
man.
in the moments. That's my bad. Also, I'm still a little bit freaked out about this next one that I saved for last, and then we'll wrap up this episode. Ghost pulls kid out of bed.
Yeah.
Wake up! It's Christmas.
All right, let's do it. Also, go to our YouTube where you can see everything we do.
Witness me.
Oh, shit.
Turn that down a little bit.
Show me again.
That was
I think we'll just let the video play. It goes back.
The mother of this child is at a loss.
Oh, I don't
for
like
words.
that voice.
That was definitely a kid getting yanked out of bed.
Sorry. Can you play it again?
Of course. No, we'll play it many times. For those of you who are just on our podcast, basically the kid is sleeping. His leg jerks up in the air.
Yeah,
And
he's on his stomach too.
Yeah.
So he's not like compelling himself out of the bed.
He's like shaked as his legs becoming taut, and then he just flies out of bed, his body hitting the ground.
That has left me speechless.
He's also not high up on the ground. He wasn't like hurt, it seems, although probably emotionally spooked.
Yeah, I too would be fucking terrified right then.
Doug, ghosts are real, dude. I feel so stupid a lot of the time because everybody convinces me that you're stupid if you think ghosts are real. And you're a fool and you're a sucker. But things are happening to people.
Weird stuff is out there.
Weird stuff is happening.
There's ways you could debunk this that would be literal
And there's ways you
child
could
cruelty.
fake it. Yeah. That would be yeah.
Sure. I mean,
And this could be, I thought, maybe like some sort of weird spasm or seizure the kid could be having.
Yes.
But that pull out of it,
Just the physics don't make sense. And it's like, could you attach a fishing wire to a kid's leg and do this? I suppose so, but I think it would look way different. I think you would see the wire.
yeah.
you would see other stuff pull. You would maybe hear stuff.
Very, very weird.
I don't think the kid's also pushing off. Like, I think this is a true pull. I don't see his arms jerking.
I don't think he has the upper body strength to push himself off like that.
That's
Also, if this was a
bonkers.
fake, that's extremely high production values.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. I don't know.
Go to our YouTube. That's kind of where we're moving to as an official channel. We're almost monetized, gentlemen.
Hey, someday we'll have money from the web. Like
We'll have some of that web money, and we'll have our own feastables. We'll call them how do you say an R again? Radar lictables.
Okay, radar lecto. I love that. That's really good. What about
and then there'll be like slime covered ice
grave
cream
nuggets?
cones. Yeah.
How about we just sell grave nuggets and we'll see what they really do to people.
I mean, I guess technically we already do sell grave nuggets.
That's true.
But this is my last segment of paranormal encounters.
That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. I don't know. My paranormal preparedness for this person is call a priest, move, get out of the house. That's a ghost. There's a ghost there.
Yep.
Find out what it wants. Take care of that.
Get a shaman. Get a priest. Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Yes. This is a situation where I would be like, okay, we have a ghost. Now we need to start looking for ghost solutions, which would be, calling like an energy worker or someone who claims to be sensitive to these types of things. Start trying things. My paranormal preparedness for the previous person is
the vampire.
Unfollow that guy on Instagram.
Stop going to the shows.
I would say block him. Don't respond to him. That guy is what we call a loser.
Stick with your husband. If you're thinking about cheating on your husband, don't do it with this man.
Do it with a vampire.
Yeah, do it with a vampire for sure.
But not this person.
A sanguine vampire. None of these psychic vampires.
Psychic vampire. Come on. You're a psychic vampire and you're trying to get laid from your metal band? You gotta be drinking some blood, dude. You were doing it all wrong. Sanguine vampires are like, piano teachers or emotionally abusive uncles these are energetic vampires.
Sanguine vampires are
rock stars.
Rock stars.
Yeah.
Your
emo
kings
kids.
and queens of the damned.
Yes. Yeah. Emotional vampires, that's just someone at work you hate. Who everyone hates. Folks, thank you for listening to another episode of Werewolf Radar Classifies the Vampires for you. We had a lot of fun today. We hope you had fun too. If you're a new listener, please go check us out on YouTube. If you really liked what we did today, check us out on patreon.com/werewolf radar. You can become a supporter of the show. You can give us 5 stars wherever 5 stars can be provided. And you can get extra content from us, like a grave nugget every most week, like merch. And being our friend is probably the highest benefit that you will receive from becoming a Patreon member. It does instantly purchase our friendship.
Also,
which they say couldn't be done, but it can. We found a way.
We added some canon to it. Our listener is named Chad.
Oh, nice. Chad, thank you once again.
When you become a subscriber or a listener, you're a Chad who's a pingo. I'm working on all this. I'm having some fun, but
a pingo-laden Chad.
Yes. So thank you.
Thank you, Chads and Pingos. And that does it for another episode of Werewolf Radar. You did it. Please tell your friends to listen. Don't tell them what happened in the grave nugget. That's just for you. And please, on the count of 3, join us on our sign-off line. We say every week, 1, 2, 3. Punch the sky!
Spaceman Joe.
Punch the sky, Spaceman, you.